Again, taking the example of the spring or the slinky. So in transverse waves, what we have to do is we can produce the transverse wave with the help of the spring or with the help of the slinky. So first of all, placed a slinky on a smooth floor, then we have to fix its one end with one side and then hold the other end of the slinky or the spring in our hand and then just move it up and down quickly. One time, just move the spring up and down position quickly. So we observe that there is a wave produced. There is a disturbance produced in the particles of the spring. And now at this time, the wave is in the form of crust and trough. We will see in the longitudinal waves, there are compression and rarefaction present in the wave of the spring when we give it a quick jerk, because we are giving the jerk in the direction of the length of the spring. Whereas in transverse waves, we have to give the jerk in up and down motion or up and down position. So in transverse waves, there are the alternate crust and troughs will start traveling towards the fixed direction or towards the fixed point. Now, what is crust and trough? Crusts are the highest point in the spring, while troughs are the lowest points of the particles of the medium from the mean position. Means from its mean position, when we apply a jerk in upwards and in downward direction, the upward motion of the spring is known as crust, and the downward direction from its mean position is known as trust. Trough. Now, the distance between two consecutive crust or trough is called wavelength. And in the case of longitudinal waves, the distance between two consecutive compression or rarefaction is called the wavelength. So in the case of longitudinal wave, the definition of wavelength is the distance between two consecutive compression or rarefaction is called the wavelength. Whereas in the case of transverse waves, the definition of wavelength is the distance between two consecutive crust or trough is called as wavelength. Okay, this is shown in your figure 10.9, transverse wave on a slinky. Okay, now at this time we will observe that the upward and the downward direction in which the spring moves or the wave produced is perpendicular to the direction of wave, because the direction of the wave is uh, towards the horizontal part, whereas the direction of crust and troughs are perpendicular to the direction of the wave that is produced in the slinky or in the spring. So therefore, we can define transverse wave as the vibratory motion of particles of the medium is perpendicular to the direction of propagation of waves. Again, in case of transverse waves, the vibratory motion of particles of the medium is perpendicular to the direction of propagation of waves. Recall what is propagation? Propagation means dispersion, spreadness, distribution of waves. And the example of transverse waves are the waves produced on the surface of water and light. Now we have the subtopic of types of mechanical waves, which is the waves as carrier of energy. So, okay, we know that energy can be transferred from one place to another place in the form of waves. For example, when we shake the stretch string in upwards direction or either in the downwards direction, what we are doing? We are producing our muscular energy to the stretch string. So as a result, what will happen? There is a disturbance creates in the string, or we can say a set of waves can be seen traveling along the string, means in the same direction of the string. The vibrating force from the hand disturbs the particles of the string and set them in motion. Means the force that we apply, the muscular energy we gave to the string disturbs the particles of the string and set them in motion. Means when there is a disturbance creates in the particles of the string, they must start to vibrate, or they must start moving from one direction to the another direction. So these particles transfer their energy to the point, other point, or we can say to the fixed point. So from here, we observe that energy can be transferred from one place of the medium to the other place of the medium in the form of waves. So we can say that waves are the carriers of energy, means the wave carries energy from one place to another place. Okay, now what is the amount of energy that the wave carried? The amount of energy depends upon the distance of the stretch string from its rest position. Means from the rest position, what is the distance of the stretch string is can tell us the amount of energy that the wave can carry. So we can say the energy in a wave depends on the amplitude of the wave. For example, if we shake the string or the spring faster, we give it more energy. So there are higher frequency produced in the particles, which means that it can deliver more energy per second to the string as it moves forward. Okay, now if we give the string, or if we shake the string slowly, then what will happen? It can just produce a very little energy per second. And at that times, the waves are produced of lower frequency. And the wave delivers low energy per second to the particles of the string as it moves in the forward direction. Okay, now water waves also transfer energy from one place to another. Now let's see how water waves transfer energy from one particle to another. This is shown in your activity 10.3 on page number 11. Okay, now in activity 10.3 is drop a stone into a pond of water. Water waves will be produced on the surface of water and will travel outwards. Means when we dip or when we throw a stone in a water tank or in the pond of water, we see that there is a disturbance in the water will produced. Means, and wherever the disturbance produced means there are the waves. So water waves are produced in the surface of the water, and the direction of these waves are towards the outwards direction where we throw or where we drop the stone. Okay, in the pond there is a cork, or in the water tub there is a are also present. So when these waves starts traveling outwards, and when it reaches the cork or the bottle cap, what will happen? The cork either moves in upwards or in the downwards direction, and the waves will flow under the bottle cap or under the cork. Okay, this is the case of longitudinal waves. Okay, and in another case, when the waves reaches the cork, it will move up and down along with the motion of the water particles by getting energy. Means the cork starts traveling in the direction of the waves. So we can say here that the energy travels in the same direction. So from this example or from this activity, you can say it a small experiment, we can say that the water waves also transfer energy from one place to another place. Means if there is a pencil present in a water tub and we throw a stone in the water, what will happen? There are the disturbance produced in the water particles, and wherever the disturbance is produced, there must be waves. So when these waves start moving outwards towards outwards from the stone where we throw the stone, then what will happen? When the waves reaches the pencil, it will start moving along with the direction of the waves. So we can see that, or we can observe that the water waves carries energy with themselves. Means this is due to the energy, or this is because of the energy that the pencil will change its direction or change its position from one point to another point. Okay, now another subtopic is relationship between velocity, frequency, and the wavelength. Okay, now we will discuss the relationship between velocity, frequency, and wavelength of the wave. We know that wave is a disturbance. Where the disturbance, there is a wave produced. So wave is a disturbance in the medium which will travel from one point to another point. So we can say that there must be some velocity of the wave because it is traveling from one point to another point. We know that velocity is the rate of distance. In class 9, you will read, the definition of velocity. What is the definition of velocity? The distance covered by an object in unit time is called its speed, and the rate of displacement of the body is called as the velocity. So here we are talking about the velocity. Means velocity is equals to the distance divided by the time. Also, you know that the velocity is the vector quantity. So we will define velocity as velocity is equals to distance divided by the time. So here velocity is represented by v, distance is represented by small d, and time is represented by small t. Now we can say that in the case of waves, because we know that there is a time period of some wave. So if the time taken by the wave from moving towards another point is equal to its time period, and the distance covered by the wave will be equal to one wavelength, we can rewrite the definition, or we can rewrite the formula of velocity as velocity is equals to wavelength divided by the time period. Time period is represented by capital T, whereas the wavelength is represented by the sign lambda. Now recall what is wavelength. Wavelength is the distance between two consecutive compression or rarefaction. And the second definition of wavelength is the distance between two consecutive crust or trough is known as the wavelength. So velocity is equals to wavelength divided by the time period. In the definition of time period or in the definition of frequency, we observe that frequency and the time period both are reciprocal of each other. So we can define time period as time period is equals to 1 divided by the frequency. So we can rewrite the formula of velocity as V is equals to F lambda, means V is equals to frequency multiplied by the wavelength. This is your equation number 10.5. Velocity is equals to frequency multiplied by the wavelength. And this equation is true for both the cases, for longitudinal waves and for the transverse waves. Now we have an example number 10.2. A wave moves on a slinky, means spring, with frequency of 4 hertz. The unit of frequency is hertz, and it is represented by Hz. And the wavelength of 0.4 meter. Unit of wavelength is meter because this is the distance. We have to find out the speed of the waves. So in given data, we have frequency which is equals to 4 hertz and wavelength which is equals to 0.4 meter. We have to find out the speed, means we have to find out its velocity. So we know that V is equals to frequency multiplied by the wavelength. By putting the values, frequency is equals to 4 hertz and wavelength is equals to 0.4 meters. When we multiply 4 by 0.4, we have the answer 1.6 meter per second. We know that the unit of velocity is meter per second. So this is your topic number 10.4, types of mechanical waves. Today you have learned 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 definitions and 1 derivation. First of all, you see the definition of compression, then rarefaction, then the wavelength, longitudinal waves, transverse waves, and the wavelength in the case of transverse waves. And then the relationship between velocity, frequency, and the wavelength. So enough for today. Is there any question from today's lecture? Okay, let me take your attendance first. In our next lecture, I will give you a written homework which you all have to do on your homework registers.
एक्सक्यूज मी टीचर।
Yes.
टीचर मैं पूछना था कि इससे पहले जितनी भी मतलब क्लासेस हुई हैं उसमें आपने कोई रिटन होमवर्क दिया है?
नहीं बेटे।
ओके।
Types of mechanical waves can be your short question or your long question as well. If the question comes at define mechanical waves and its types, you have just only give the definition of mechanical waves and then the longitudinal and the transverse waves. Whereas if the question comes in long questions, then you have to write, first of all, you have to write the definition of mechanical waves, then the longitudinal waves with example. In example, you have to define compression, rarefaction, and a wavelength also. Then the definition of transverse waves along with the diagram 10.8 and 10.9. And then the definition of transverse waves, the definition of crust and trough in the example, and the definition of wavelength. In types of mechanical waves, there is no need to discuss that waves are carrier of energy or what is the relationship between velocity and frequency and the wavelength. Inshallah, we will meet in our next lecture. Till then, Allah Hafiz.